an alien abduction with photographic evidence as well.
It sounds like people whispering and stuff.
Oh no. Definitely heard a deer barking then. 100 quid, mate. I bought this last year. This week November sales as well. Let's have a look at quick destructions. Right, let's get it set up. It's a similar sort of tent as the OEX Raccoon 2 and a similar pole structure to the Verne 1 and the Kuiu Stormstar that I've just had a look at, but that's a much better idea for the clips for the Kuiu. I might change mine out for some carabiners like that. They're a lot easier, but this has got a trick up its sleeve that I want to show you. Let me get the fly on because it's getting dark now. And there it is, look. You can put that door up like that and it's same on both sides, so you can have both sides open if you want, and you'll easily get a chair underneath there. Nice when it's raining. You could have your walking poles there if you wanted. All right, mate. You come in to say hello. Well, it's just started to rain now, so I'm going to get all my gear in, and it'll probably be dark by then as well. Just been on the phone to my mate for about 20 minutes and it's absolutely pitch black now. It started to pee it down and all, so I need to get all my gear sorted. Go on, get on. This little pump here from Flextail, I ordered this from that Kickstarter site where I get most of my gear from. That Indiegogo, I think it's called. It took about 3 months to come, and in the meantime, Flextail have been in touch with me, asking me if I want to review it. They also asked me if I wanted to review their. They've got a new sleeping pad out, an R value of 5 or something like that. They asked me if I wanted to review that, and I said no. They sent an email to me and then all the other YouTubers as well. So it had all the other YouTubers' emails in it, which is a data breach. And but I had some fun with it. I said, so what did I say now? Something along the lines of, yeah, sure, I'll review it for you. After our successful last collaboration, I'll do you a discount this time and do it for £10,000. Just thought I'd do it to wind other YouTubers up, because I replied to all, so they'll have all seen it. Is there any point blowing your pad up or what? Are you even gonna lie on it? Last time I put this up, she didn't even lie on it when I went out with Curtis. Speaking of Curtis, went out for his birthday the other week to an escape room, and then we went out for a meal afterwards for a curry, and then I danced my arse off all night in nightclubs, which I hadn't done since I was about 20. Well, this isn't bad, is it? Just sat under here, under this shelter. I don't even know if you'll be able to see me. It's this Pocket 3, and I've got a microphone on me as well, so you'll have to tell me if you can hear me alright, if it's any good or not. This isn't a bad tent, is it? I mean, I've got a bit of height above me, door opening up like that, plenty of ventilation, but it's raining now, so we'll see if it's waterproof. And if it's waterproof, it's not bad for 100 quid. I don't think anyway. I love this this khaki brown colour as well. Excellent for those like stealthy camps and that. Not that I do any stealth camps like. Right, what have we got? Ooh, VK Black Cherry. Now don't go mad. I ain't had a drink since Curtis's birthday, which was like 3 weeks ago. And before that, I hadn't drunk for probably about a month, so. Ah, that's banging, that. Ooh, love a bit of black cherry. But it's got about 3 kilos of sugar in it though, hasn't it? And that's what I'm supposed to be cutting out with me, what is it, my diet. I'll have to bring that in a bit so it's not getting wet. Only problem with this Pocket 3, it's not waterproof. Like me GoPro, you can just leave that out in rain and that. But with this, I'm gonna have to proper baby it, which I'm not too sure about. So my car's knackered. It's got a DPF problem. Not that you're bothered about that, but that's the reason why we're not out doing some like proper exploring and stuff. Because I had some plans for, well, the couple of videos that I was going to do this week was going to be about some witches, an alien abduction with photographic evidence as well, some mythical giants, all sorts of stuff like that. But I've been told not to drive my car to make it any worse. It's in limp mode at the moment. Anyway, it keeps going into limp mode. First world problems, isn't it? So I'm just at a local spot here down by a stream. It's just nice and chilled here. Get a lot of deer coming through here as well. So last time I was here, I had them sniffing around my tent. Should we put your jacket on, mate? Come here. Come on. Get your legs in there. Get your little tootsies in. There we go. Let's get that zipped up. There we go. Look how snazzy you look now, mate. Eh? There you go, look. It's not a bad little tent, this. It's 2.1 kilos, but it had a footprint in the bag as well. So I'll have to weigh that at home and then deduct it off the weight, because I don't ever use a footprint. I thought I'd use this as like a little woodland tent. It's a bit like the One Tigris backwards bungalow, you know, with the door that comes out, but that's just a single skin tent, is that? So this could be my new like woodland 3-season tent. What are you sniffing at? You want some cherry? Eh? I've just filmed a comparison video today of the Nortent Verne 1 and the Kuiu Stormstar 2. So if you're interested in that, have a look in the playlist, it'll be in gear reviews. Now I bought them 2 tents myself, like I bought this one myself. I've got no affiliation with the companies, and it was just like a first look really, because I haven't been out in them yet. Not properly anyway. I think I'm gonna have to... Hey up, what's camera doing again now? This camera does me head in. There we go. Got me again. I think I'm gonna have to start doing some yoga or something, because being in these tents and that all the time, especially when it's raining like this, I'm sat with my legs crossed now and it's it's hurting me. I'm just getting old, old and brittle. I'm just talking to Daily Outdoors. Well, texted him asking me what I think of the Verne 1. I think it's probably a good time to talk about the difference between US made tents and tents that are made for English weather. You know, like the Van Goghs, Terra Novas, Hillebergs, the Nortent, stuff like that. Like all the American tents are all just, they're geared towards the ultralight, but not very strong and stuff in winds, I don't think, because people have had certain tents over here that are from the US and they haven't fared very well for the British weather. Now someone said, when I was out in the Kuiu, someone commented something like, this tent is made for going up mountains in Alaska, not for camping in car parks. Something along those lines. But what people don't understand is England, well, the UK, is a little island and there's hardly any trees here because we chopped them all down for farmland. So once you get up on them moors, mind you, we're an island, the wind just whips through and we get storms through all the time. I mean, just after Christmas we had like 3 storms rolling in about a week and a half, and they were all like 70-mile-an-hour winds, and that's just usual sort of winter time for, well, I'd say you even get storms like that in summer. Yeah, because there's no stopping the wind from hitting you, basically. Like I say, there's hardly any woodlands and stuff around here. There is big plantations and stuff, but we chopped all those old woodlands down. So we need really strong tents here in the UK. I'm not sure about Americans, but I know that a lot of the Americans, they do, it's all geared towards like through hiking, isn't it? And you only do that basically in summer. So I have got another new tent on its way. I know, but it's the one that I've been wanting for years, a Big Sky Chinook 2. So I'll probably do a separate video on that, because there isn't hardly any on YouTube. So when I was looking, you know, to try and figure out if I actually wanted to buy it or not, I couldn't find any information on it apart from on their website, and their website's not very up to date. That's a US company, Big Sky International. Now I use their pegs all the time. I've used their pegs for years. They call them tube stakes, spelt STEAKS. Stakes. I don't know why. But I'm waiting for that to come. Well, it did arrive. I tell a lie, it did arrive. I ordered the forest green colour, but I wasn't too happy about the green. I didn't like it. So I got in contact with them and asked them if I could swap it out for a grey one, and they said yeah. So I've had to send that back now. I've got to wait for the grey one to come. Hey dear. But I can't wait to get out in that. I can't wait to get out in all these tents actually, just try them out. I'm just going to stick with these 3 tents for a year. They are heavy, them other ones though. Like the Big Sky Chinook's only like 1.8, and it's a true 4-season tent. And it's a 2-person tent as well. I don't know. Like 2.8 kilos is pretty heavy. 2.7 kilos or whatever they are. That's the same sort of weight as some of the Vangos that I've got. The Vango Starav 200, which is that's a very strong tent. And the Vango Spectre 200, which is a very similar tent, but it's a darker green. I prefer that than the Starav, I think, just because of colour. So I might get rid of the other Vango. But that were only 120 quid, and the Spectre, I got that second hand for, I think I only paid 30 quid for that. And that's a really strong tent as well. Made for the British weather, that's why. It has active tracking, this thing. But watch, if I bring my hand up and move that away, it follows my hand. It thinks my hand's my face, look. Look, now it's lost me again. I'm going to have to bring my hand back down to my face. There it's got me. Stupid thing. So I might just use this camera for like nighttime shots, like when I'm in tent or when I go for them midnight walks, like we might do a bit later on if it stops raining, because one, it needs protecting from rain, and people that live in Britain know that it just constantly rains all the time. So I might have to get a little cocktail umbrella to go over the top of it. Hey up, look, it's following me hand again. What a silly little thing, look. Going back to the British versus American type thing, there's a Facebook group called oh no, oh that's just all dripped into me. Shish kebab. Hold on, let me show you this. So here, where my zip is, water's just ran all the way down there. Let me see if I can show you with this silly camera. And it's just all dripped inside here. So I've got a nice puddle in here now. I'm going to have to lower that end down, I think. If we can lower that down so it's away from the door. Let's try that. Oh yeah, what were I saying? Yeah, so there's a Facebook group called Americans Will Use Anything But the Metric System to Measure Stuff. Something along those lines anyway. And you should see some banter that goes on in there, man. It's absolutely hilarious. There's Australians and all sorts of people in there as well. They all chip in. But that's really funny in there. And going back to the sort of the weather differences in the UK compared to the US, I don't think people in the US realise that England is on a higher, is it longitude or latitude? I don't know. We're further up north anyway than the whole of the US. So where I live, it's probably, well, I know it's in it'd be sort of the same line as Canada. Let me have a look at me maps. So where I live, I'm sort of in line with Charlottetown, is it? In Newfoundland and Labrador. I'm probably butchering that, sorry Canadians. Labrador. Is that where they breed dogs? So we're higher up than Quebec. So yeah, Newfoundland, I think they call. Is that how you pronounce it? Sort of in between Charlottetown and Cartwright, maybe, or Black Tickle. I think that's where. That sounds better, doesn't it? Black Tickle. That's what I'm in line with. Some Black Tickle. Ooh, who doesn't like a bit of Black Tickle, eh? So yeah, houses in America, they're usually built out of wood and they're on stilts, and they usually have a big, like a porchway with, what do you call it, a landing deck maybe, to keep it cool, and they're normally on stilts as well to let cold air run underneath it to keep it cool. Whereas in Britain, everything is made out of brick, 2-layer brick with insulation. So it has a 2-layer wall, and then in between the 2 layers it'll have insulation in it to keep it warm, because it's usually freezing over here. It's about 0 degrees now, but I'm not too bad here because it's there's no wind chill around like that. But our summers usually don't go above 30 degrees C. Last year we had a big one. It got into the 40s and everyone were dying. But none of us even have what is it? Air conditioning over here. We don't need it. Some at shops and supermarkets they have it, but hardly any homes have it. You know, I bet there's only about 1% of people that have air conditioning in their homes over here. That's because we're hard though. Right, it stopped raining for a minute now, so just gonna stretch my legs a little bit. Oh. This is a little stream here. Don't know if you can see it. I hope. Somebody's number plate there, look. Nice little stream here. There's normally a waterfall over there somewhere. You won't be able to see it in the dark, I don't think. You see our Fendy's eyes lighting up. Let's go for a little wander while it's stopped raining. Now this is a cheap torch. Well, not a cheap torch. Cheap head torch. Now these come in a pack of 2, and they're only like 12 quid for 2. And I've had these since I started wild camping years ago, probably about 5 years ago, and they're still going strong. Called Omaril. I'll put a link for them in description so you can have a look. This is going to be better for when I'm walking about in woods or trying to figure out what's making noise outside my tent, isn't it? Don't know if you can see tent over there. You can see glow, you know, the guy line thingies lighting up. Only thing I don't like about it is this gimbal, because it's a bit slow and it doesn't always face in the way that you want it to face. But I'm just gonna have to get used to it, aren't I? You know what I mean, mate? Know what I mean? It'd be good for making movies though, because it's good quality. Like I said, I'm gonna start making some movies, some proper movies. Not that I'm gonna be any good at it, like, but I'm gonna have a bash because I enjoy being creative, and this is my outlet, and this is why I like taking you on these little tours and that, for, you know, looking at history and stuff like that, folklore and stuff. And this is why I don't do well with scripts either. I don't know how I'm going to make movies then. I can't remember lines or out like that. It'll all just have to be off the cuff. We'll see, because I'm crap at reading out loud. Well, there's a bit of a breeze coming through now, so what's it like on microphone? Is it shish kebab or what? You'll have to let me know. So this is just a fog light on my head torch, and then that's the, what is it, the beam. But I only ever use the either the fog light like that or the red light. Sure, I just heard something down here. It might have been a frog or something jumping about. But I do love just being outside. Oh, I missed it, mate. I missed it. Even if I am just from walking distance from my house. But can't drive the car, not until the parts come. I've got a vaporizer coming, fuel system vaporizer, and some foam cleaner for DPF. I've got software and that to reset everything, so we'll just we'll have to figure it out when it comes. Hopefully it'll sort it out. Now this could become a problem here where it's just sat pooling on top of there. It won't be any good for snow, but I wouldn't use this in bad conditions anyway, I don't think. What's the pole structure like? Yeah, it's pretty wobbly. And these storm flaps, they don't have any like stiffener in them, so they just flap about a bit, so rain could potentially get in zip. But for 100 quid I can't grumble unless it leaks. But we'll have to see about that, won't we? Right, I'm going to drop this end down a bit. All right, mate. You just farted, you little scruff. Hey dear. Yeah, so I've just dropped this side down. Water will just run off and then hopefully run off down that side. As you can see, it's been dribbling in. But I do prefer tents that you can leave the door open and not get wet inside, and that seems to have sorted it. Because sometimes when it's raining, sometimes it's warm and stuff when it's raining as well, and you don't want to be just zipped up and battened down inside your tent sometimes, especially if it's not windy. I like to be able to look out at nature and see if there's any witches flying about and stuff. Watch out for Bigfoot. People keep saying that there's Bigfoot and stuff in my videos, but I don't think we have Bigfoot in the UK, just because, like I said, one, all the forests have been chopped down, so there's nowhere for Bigfoot to hide, really. I did see a video. It were on Blaze. I think it were on Blaze, the TV channel, and were it Fellman Dave? Don't know if it was Fellman Dave. Like a bushcrafter in Northumberland, is it? Up that way. He said that he'd found tracks and stuff in woodlands where he was. So maybe. You never know, do you? High up. Barking. That were a deer barking, that. Shall we go see if we can see it? Definitely heard a deer barking then. But I doubt I'll be able to get anywhere near it, because as soon as they hear or smell my stinky ass, they'll be off skis. Might be in next field over, but definitely heard a deer. Oh dear. Yeah, it's not bad, this Pocket 3, but like I said, if it's raining, it is raining a bit now, so I'm a bit worried about it getting damaged. Let's go back to the tent out of the rain. You know, it's crap weather outside when our Fendel don't want to get out. Alright, mate. What are you doing? Eh? Strawberry daiquiri. That's what we're on next. Oh, I can feel those pounds going straight back on my belly. Hey dear. So I've just been looking on AliExpress at this tent that I bought. I had to scroll through to last year when I bought it, and it's called the Arixie Hunter 2, and it says ultralight 15D camping tent, waterproof outdoor hiking, travel tent, backpacking, cycling tent. And at the moment 29% off, £107.99 is the shipping. Ooh, shipping is £89.17. But if you look for Arixie Hunter 2 or Arixie 2-person tent, you might get a better deal on it. But
looking at the stats, it's 100 centimetres tall, 135 centimetres wide and 210 centimetres long, and both of vestibules are 45 centimetres. Waterproof rating 5,000 millimetres. 2-person tent, but it's not really a 2-person because the sides, the front and the sides of them, they're steep down quite a bit, so be 1 person and the dog or 1 person and the gear. I'm not I've had quite a few people ask about what tent they should buy because they're thinking about getting into wild camping this year, but it all depends on what you want from the tent. If you're going up onto the moors, upon the Peak District, Lake District, Snowdonia, mountains and moors and stuff, then you're going to want a strong tent. Because if you've followed my channel now for over the 2 years that I've been doing it, I've destroyed, Weber's destroyed about 5 or 6 tents. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I did make a video a while ago, last year, about the things that I look for in a tent. I'll put a link for that in the top comment, and then you can have a look at that, because it all depends if you want to be able to sit up in it, what colour you want, if you want pockets, if you want a vestibule, how many doors you want, if you want it to be strong. If you're just thinking about staying below tree line, then any tent really will do as long as it's waterproof. But if you wanted to go up onto the moors and stuff like that, then you're going to need a stronger tent, because weather can just turn like that, drop at a hat. I mean, you'll have seen it on a couple of my videos where my tents have been destroyed. When I went up Kinder with Daly, the nature hike Cloud Tunnel 2, that's a really big tent for, I think it's 2.6 or 2.7 kilograms, but it's like a 3-man tent and it's massive. It's like 120 centimetres tall. But I love that tent, but the poles got bent on that. I have upgraded them to 11mm poles, so we'll see how that fares this year. And the TAR G2, that got blown to bits up on moors as well. So wrong person to ask really, but I might take this tent out for a burn up on moors, just because the pole structure is different to the other tents that I've taken out up on moors, and it does seem quite aerodynamic. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? So tents that I'm going to be using this year is this one. I'm going to go back out in the nature hike Cloud Tunnel 2 with the poles, the upgraded poles. The Kuiu Storm Star, I'm going to give that a go. Big Sky Chinook 2, I think that's going to be my go-to tent. I've already had a quick look at it when I had got the forest green. What else? Oh yeah, the Vern 1. Now the Vern 1, I contacted them before I even bought it, and I asked them, if I buy one, will they send me one for free to raffle off on the channel, to do like a bit of a charity raffle? And they said yeah. But then when they sent the tent, they only sent one, and they left a comment saying they'll send another one out in April, because there's a lot of demand for that tent at the moment, which I can understand, but it did pee me off a little bit. The only reason why I bought it really is to give one to you lot and do a charity raffle. Otherwise I might not have bothered. I might have waited for all the reviews first and see what everyone says about it. But everyone says it's amazing, so it's got to be good. It's just really heavy. Like I say, with footprint on it, with 3.1 kilos for like a 1-man tent. It's even heavier than the Solo without the footprint by about 200 grams. As always, all the tents that I've got need a lot of testing, see if they're any good or not. There's no point in you rushing out and buying one just from looking at it, like I have done with a few of my tents, just to see if they're because we need to test them, don't we, see if they're any good. It's alright people saying, oh yeah, it looks really good, but you just don't know, do you, until it's been tested. So that's what I'll be doing this year. Right, I think it's time for me to get my boots off and chill out for a bit. Plus battery's nearly dead on you, so I need to save a bit to say good morning, right, and tell you if this tent leaks or not. Bye bye for now. So it's about 5:30 now. We're not going to get any sunrise, not until about, I think it's about 7:45 when sun comes up. But the tent did well last night. We didn't get much more rain than what we had last night. Quite happy with it for 100 quid. I slept with that porchway open last night because I was listening to the stream. It sounds like people whispering and stuff when you're next to a stream. It can be quite spooky. But once you get your head out of that sort of situation, if you get out of your head and just think, oh, it's just the water, then you're all right. I was hoping that deer would come back and I could get a snap of it. Right, so we're gonna pack up and get off home and get to work.